Hello.
Welcome back to the Bible Study Girl podcast. My name is Sarita, but you may know me as Bible Study Girl. And with the introductory hello was the executive producer of this podcast, Bible Study Brother.
Yo, it is I, Bible Study Brother, but I'm also known as Icarus Gray over at Gray Area Anime. And this right here is the most wonderful podcast of your day. My album is out now for your consumption with appearances from BSG, BS Mama, Bible Study Mama. I was going to say BSM, but that just sounds so weird. It is doing really well. The concert went great. I'm ecstatic for you guys to listen to it and enjoy some good Christian hip-hop music stuff.
Good Christian music, just good music in general. Like, you don't have to label it as Christian, bro. It's just great music. My current favorite track on the album, aside from my interlude, is Whatever. It speaks to my soul.
Yeah.
It really does. It goes hard in the paint. So I would love for you guys to listen to the album and let me know what your favorite song is. What song speaks to you? So we're still in Bible Study Girl recap blog land. And before we get to that, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Bible Study Girl YouTube page. There is currently a 40-day series uploaded to the Bible Study Girl YouTube page. I went through a purpose-driven life and I recorded just some short videos every day of key things that I got from each day. Highly recommend it. I think if you've never done purpose-driven life, it's a great book to get you started. What?
We want you guys to join the BSG Book Club, which is the title of this series. And she's going to be doing a lot of different things every now and again because she reads a lot of books. So I'm going to impress upon her to do more of these things, whether it's sharing her thoughts about one of the Christian books she reads or just books in general, if they're really good books that she thinks you should read that are encouraging, because she is really good at this, guys. So check out the YouTube BSG Book Club.
Right now, he is grateful and thankful that this is not being visually recorded because I've cut eyes at him. We've not had a meeting about a Bible Study Girl book club series. I am a member of a book club, but it's not necessarily something I'll be throwing up on YouTube. So let's be in prayer. We'll see by the time you guys get to hear this episode what has rolled out. But at this point, all 40 days are up and available for viewing. I hope it blesses you because the book as a whole is really blessing me. So let me get back on topic, back on focus. He likes to throw me off. And what are we even talking about today? Blog recap. That's what I was gonna talk about.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if you know this, but I can see your little eye.
Oh my gosh. So this blog that we're going to recap today is I Can See Your Little Eye. This is your first time listening to the series and you don't know what we're talking about. This is how it works. You can head over to BibleStudyGirl.com. You can type in the words, I can see your little eye. It pulls the blog up. It lets you read for yourself the blog that we're going to discuss today and come up with your own takeaways, whatever helpful hints or takeaways you get from reading the blog for yourself. The blog for today was written in November of 2019, long time ago, almost 4 years ago. And so the way we do blog recaps around here is that Bible Study Brother gives you guys his impression, his takeaway from reading the blog. I try to let him say whatever he has to say without interrupting him. But sometimes I don't succeed. And then I'll let you guys know what I was thinking at the time that I wrote the blog. And if my feelings have changed, if my experiences have changed since then, I say it all the time and I will continue to say it each time we recap a blog. Just dialoguing with Bible study brother. It gives me new insight and also brings some reminders into my life of areas that I struggle in, or maybe even areas that I feel like I have quote unquote victory in that I still need to refine and keep laying at Jesus' feet. So I'm done with my jibber jabbering. We're going to let Bible study brother take it away and let us know what he thought about the blog. I can see your little eye.
So I read the title and immediately was like, oh, here she go. And I was like, oh, it's not me.
Oh, you
It
thought it
was
was going to be
her.
you.
You do realize that the origin of the little eye was with you telling me, like, your little eye is showing, like you saying it to me.
Really?
Yes, like you would inundate me and say it so much. That's why this, and because I'm like, oh, this was a joy for mama to point out your little lie, and you be like, girl, because that's where she got it from. It's from you talking about me and my little lie. Because we take so many pictures together, you steady be talking about, my little, which is your good side and all that other stuff. And it was funny to me
I think
because
my Go ahead. I'm gonna let, but what I was gonna say to you is, I think my little eye is on my good side. I think it puts my little eye to the forefront. I need to figure out which one is my little eye. Look at me.
I'm looking at you. I don't know. It's such a the hard thing to tell. I guess it's let's look
Is
at
it
this.
this
Let's
one?
look at this picture.
Is it this eye right here? You got
I
to do it in
I, I
real
think I
time.
think it's I think it's not. I got to do it in real time. I can't stand you. I think it's your left one, which
You think it's
or
this one?
on my left. So you're right.
I'm touching it. Is it this
No,
one?
it's the other one.
Okay, so it is my right eye. I thought my right eye was the little one. I think. I don't know. We'll reevaluate. But go ahead with
But
your.
so the thing that was so interesting about this blog and what you took from it is to heed the warnings, of those around you. Now, I'm gonna give y'all this disclaimer on the front end because it is something that I feel we as Christians lack a lot of. We say we have it, but a lot of folks don't because you just kind of be espousing. But discernment, discernment. But heed the warnings of those that are close to you, no matter what it is, because it's gonna be, if they care about you and if you're using your discernment, it is always going to be for your betterment. It is always going to be to lead you to a closer relationship with God. Because, we all got that thing in us that's going to keep us humble and keep us in need of the Lord. I figuring out what mine is. I'm like, man. But anyway.
Paul talks about the thorn in his flesh. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
cause him to sin, but it keeps him before the throne. So yeah.
Like, I wish I had that testimony of it not causing me to like, I falter. I stumbles and I'm like, not even, I'm realizing more and more like how imperative this thing, well, not imperative, but how intense it is. But anyway,
Would you consider yourself to be a humble person?
mm, I would consider myself to be a humble person in the same way that like you are. It's a crippling humbleness. Like, I be feeling like if I get too much into my talent or my gifts or whatever, which is why I'm so happy about the next blog. Um, but like, you just have these moments where it's like, I feel like confidence in, what did I say? I've said this line in my, in a song I got. It's like cutthroat and confidence are feeling too synonymous. Um, in the sense to where it's like, I'm just being, I'm out here, I'm knocking everybody off. I got this. I'm the rap god. I'm this, that, blah, 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 blah. It's not stuff that I do, but like that's what people do. And it's like you be feeling so good about yourself or your pen, and then it's like, but man, God gonna take this away from me if I don't back up, if I don't pipe down. And that was like the hardest part about, or why this making the album was so good for me, Is because I got over the hump of continuously like, nah, I'm being too cocky or arrogant and I was being none of those things. It's just trying to be so humble and keep myself in check because I know what the power of walking in purpose has, especially like when you see all these other people walking in purpose. A lot of people that we watch have seen from the start of their careers and stuff to where they are now. You wonder if they heeded warnings of people. You wonder if they noticed their little lie, the thing that the thorn that is there to keep them humble and keep them remembering that they need God. Um, and a lot of times I
So
think
were
it's,
you?
yeah,
Go ahead.
a lot of times I just think it's so easy to run from purpose because purpose and responsibility are so crazy, especially like as we do this medium of content and sharing it with people where we're opening ourselves to, well, I'm not really opening myself to y'all opinions, but and I only mean that to say like if you ain't judging what we say by the spirit, I ain't listening to you no way. But you're opening yourself, period, to being vulnerable to all of these other ideas and things of that nature. So yeah, what were you saying?
I don't remember. I'm 40 now. Gotta say it when I think it. That's why I
Girl.
cut people off. 'Cause-
Yeah. Now you sound like we are the same. And oh man, I can only imagine my 40 now. If you're here, like, and I've already been doing this for years, it is that's the thorn in the communication of my marriage. It's just like I'd be like, hey, I'm just letting you know if you got to go now, I'm gonna lose it. And then I got to sit there trying to get it back. And then like I hate people trying to help me get it back because then you just mess me up. Cause then I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about
I wasn't trying to distract your train of thought, but I just
yeah.
I wondered if you view yourself as humble and um do you I feel okay, I'm gonna let you tell your story. I'm
Go
not
ahead.
saying I don't think you're humble. I think you're humble. But what I was gonna say is I think that we grew up in a household that made us humble.
Mm. Yeah. 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 And I guess also humbleness comes by what you determine as the value of the thing you do, right? So my humbleness comes in the fact that it's like if I'm not like I have always felt that I was really nice with writing words, all this stuff at some point once I finally started doing it. But what kept me humble was the fact that I mean, it ain't really paying no bills. It ain't bringing in, and like I always wanted to show mama, like, look, this how good I am. This is how good I am. And it's like, you can't really do that with certain spiritual gifts, and you shouldn't do that with certain spiritual gifts or any spiritual gift. I should say, excuse me. Let me get myself in check there because you're not doing this to show somebody how good you are or something. Like God made you good to show others Him. But yes, yes, the environment definitely very much so kept me humble.
Okay.
But I don't know, cause like that's hard too. Cause I'm like, we ain't gonna talk about that year, but we mentioned that year so much. That year was humbling.
Definitely kept you grounded, gave you some good material
Woo!
for your music.
And I still ain't used it yet. I got that's in the tuck, man.
I cannot wait to hear you use it in a song. So many albums yet to come, so many songs.
Oh
We talk
man.
about the struggle years of our youth,
Oh,
which is
how we were
funny
kept
to me.
humble.
It kept me humble. Okay.
Humble.
Any other takeaways from I could see your little eye because I cut you off, but I was just curious. You were talking about purpose and fresh off of purpose driven life. Um, yeah, it's making me I have a different perspective about things. So that's why I asked you that. Not trying to be rude girl. Any other thoughts about I can see your little eye?
um, Overall, like I said, just always listen to the signs that God is placing around you. Like a lot of times, and this is where discernment comes in. People might say something about your little eye, but are they saying that because you needed to be reminded of something, or is it a distraction from the fact that you are doing something right? And the only way you can know those things, like I said, is through discernment and just an intimate relationship with those that are talking to you, speaking about you, and what you are speaking to yourself and what you have prayed to God about. Just be aware, because that is like the especially like once you get to your any phase in your life, but definitely in my 20s and 30s, I felt the that strong, like you got to have more discernment when you heed warnings. Your sister telling you not to do A through Z doesn't mean that she doesn't want you to do whatever it is. There's just a better way to do that. And the way you're going about it is bad. Don't internalize everything that you get as a hard pause, stop, don't. Like heeding your warning and having the discernment to know that, okay, so I need to change my approach over I just need to not go this way or whatever is something you get as you grow. But yeah, that's what I
Right.
got from it.
You definitely do get it as you grow. I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, I have been writing blogs for like so September, October, November, like 3 months straight. Your girl was probably panicking at this point. Like, Lord, I'm sitting here. Tell me what I need to talk about. Tell me what is the next blog for the next day. I don't know. So to me, when I read, I can see your little eye. I sense desperation and panic. Okay.
Girl.
I sense I
uh,
sense desperation and panic, but keep saying this, but it is so true. Every time. So at that time, it was desperation and panic. Lord, what do you want me to put on this paper? Everything on there was true, valid, and real.
mhm.
But I don't think I had time at that point to really process. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one thing about the blog recaps or just writing the blog in general. I was in a state of pouring out, pouring out, pouring out, pouring out, and not necessarily having the time to sit in stuff and really evaluate what it meant at that moment, at that point in my life. So when see, I can see your little eye and I read it now, I've had time to have some introspection, to really just think about it. And honestly, I needed the warning. I was having a discussion with um my bestie last night about something, and she was like, um now when we were younger, early in our friendship,
Mhm.
she would say to me, we may not be friends after this, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you what's right.
Yeah.
She's great with the warning. That has morphed over the years. And last night when we were talking, she was like, well, I don't know which way you're gonna go with this, but I think, I'm gonna offer some cautionary like advice. And I was like, oh no. This is the way I'm going with it. But I was just sharing like what's going on right now. She was like, okay, good. Crazy. Um, so
That's
even
what's up. That just shows. I real quick. I just want to applaud you for the growth in you in that way, because that was like no. I'm not doing this because I'm planning to do what I would have done, and even her response in you and trying to like um rework that is I don't know, that's growth, man. I like it.
our friendship and our relationship has definitely grown over the years. She tells me, I share a lot of things with her. She probably feels like I overshare it.
Oh, you are an oversharer, but
I am an
we
overshare.
both are. So
I'm an overshare with people that I'm really close to. I'm not an oversharer with.
Good point. I am a total oversharer then. Only I'm not the oversharer waiters and waitresses that come to our table. Y'all,
Mhm.
over we talked about this maybe one
Let me finish
time.
my point because I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
forget,
Okay, I'm
but
sorry.
because
Oh,
I just had to click my pen.
Lordy,
So
Lordy, the
dang, I was talking about
chemistry.
oversharing. What was my point? My point was you can get on the oversharing tangent in a second. I done crossed 40 now. I done opened that door and walked in. You want me to mail you some of these sticky pants, bro? Look, I
Girl, oh
take
Lord.
notes over here because I'll be lost my train of thought. What I was saying is I think overall, the meat of what I was trying to say is 4 years later, it's still relevant that I need to heed the warnings of those that are closest to me. They don't mean harm for me. They're telling me for my good. It's not, but like you said, I have grown and our relationship, I think that's what I was saying. Our relationship as a whole has grown in the way that we talk to each other. And that's how we got into the oversharing because typically with her, I know for her, it probably is too much like, girl, you could leave them details out. No, I want you to know the whole story. um, but yeah, it definitely has been growth. So I can look and I'm thankful that I have people that I can talk to and be honest with and tell them where I'm at. And even if I was making a decision that was not in line with what she thought was best for me, we wouldn't butt heads. We are not at the point now, okay, we won't be friends. But she has the liberty and the freedom to say to me, hey sis, like not wise.
And
Or
I'm also getting there. I think your allowance of others that are close to you to do that, whereas normally I feel like you only had maybe two people, maybe, because Mama could suggest things, but majority of the time you'd be like, nah, And I think,
this is true.
yeah,
I think I have been guilty in the past. I'm working on it. I'm a work in
yeah,
progress. Um, being more open to correction.
yeah. And I think, but a lot of times it would be, mm, it's being more aware of the changes. And I think that was something that was very hard for all three of us in terms of how critical we can be or how critical we have been in the past. If you don't notice the other parts of somebody that's changing and you just want to look for the one thing that somebody didn't do the way you wanted them to do it, they're not ever going to be encouraged to do something different. And we have grown tremendously in that way of being able to just, like, hey, let's try this, try and be more you, especially if you're giving me encouragement when I'm like when I'm feeling like the worst husband in the world or whatever the case may be. And I just come and I'm like, and you're like, well, did you think about this? And it's like, come on, man. Whereas like young us would have been like, I understand exactly what you're saying. I would have been mad too. And then I'm like, now I'm mad.
Well,
So
one thing for sure, I'm not married, so I try to stay out of married folks' business. And if you come to me with something, I'm always going to try to help you, give you a broader perspective and not just like, let's sit in this anger. Like, hey, how about we back it up? And like, let's look at this from like a global perspective. Like, let's back up off of this thing
not
and
a
like, let's
global
just,
perspective.
let's not stew in
Uh,
resentment and anger. Let's think of this. So I tried to not get I don't, I'm married folks stuff. That's married folks.
yeah.
I'm not gonna comment on it. I'm just gonna try to help you like wide angle lens, let's back up off of this. So how do you like to receive correction?
It's normally just saying like you have to start with telling me that you at least understand. If you understand whatever emotion or whatever I'm feeling, like then I can disarm instead of just having to like be lectured to. I do not like being lectured to.
Hmm.
But if you
Okay,
understand,
so
yeah.
if I see something that I feel like needs to be corrected, you don't see it as an issue. What's the appropriate way for me to come to you to say, hey, bro, I noticed this? Or do
Mm,
you not want that at all?
I want it, but it just oh, it's the discernment of the time. So say I used to say this all the time at work. I'm not your guinea pig. Don't watch me do something wrong 5 times when you could have corrected it the first time. If you see me doing something wrong, like, hey, we normally don't. So say I've been, and maybe you just didn't notice, or maybe you were just waiting because you were trying to look for a time. I put the toilet tissue side in or whatever, the way weird people do it. Yeah, I'm calling y'all weird. The people who don't have the toilet paper facing out so you can pull towards you, you're just strange. Um, and I've been doing that or whatever, right? And said, hey, did you know that this will be more effective? Or hey, the instructions kind of say this. Oh, I never knew. Or hey, I was looking at da 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 da. Like, because and you're a master at this. Like a lot of times, if you just give me the medicine in some sort of Snapple fun fact, then I feel like, ooh, I learned something. That's cool. That works. That's efficient. Oh, da 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 da. You know.
Now, this is a tangent, but I gave somebody a fun fact the other day, and I think I offended them. Okay, but back.
What was the fun
I was like,
fact?
oh, gosh, I can't. It literally was like a fun fact. It was not like a correction.
Yo.
I was like, fun fact. And then thought about it. I was like, well, that's just the way me and my family talk to each other. So
Yeah.
maybe they read it as sarcasm, but no, I was really sharing.
Oh man. But yeah, like that kind of stuff, like are you teaching me is my way of being corrected? Like are you teaching me, are you giving me something that I don't know in a way that is not like well, I know what you don't know, or yo, you out of line cuz I'm an energy matcher and I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to be a spiritual energy matcher and just keep good spirits. But if you come at me wrong with the wrong kind of energy because you mad about whatever, because like I said, if you done let me put the tissue in here so many different times wrong and it's done messed you up because you done, like you had a day where you couldn't fix it and like it messed up your whole bathroom experience and it messed it up like 5 times and you ain't said nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing I can do with that because now you're fighting against me and I'm not there to defend myself. So then you're bringing in all of that energy.
So do you feel like you are responsive to correction? No. I mean, I can see your little eye. If somebody says, "Hey bro, I see this," are you receptive and responsive to it, do you think? If it's coming from somebody that's close to you, because that's what the whole point of
Yeah.
the blog is. It's somebody that's close to you. It's
Oh, if
not
it's somebody close, yeah, my bad. Yeah.
okay. It's
So
not
yeah,
somebody off the streets. It is like these are my people, and they're telling me, "Hey, I see something that needs to be
yeah.
worked out."
And
So
even
you're
if I
open to
act
that.
out in the moment, because a lot of times, and that, I think that's the issue with, or at least like a commonality of like us when you don't think I'm listening to you. Because if I don't immediately do whatever in the moment because I'm like annoyed or upset or whatever the case may be, you think I didn't listen. But the bigger thing is like a lot of times, like even when it's not done right, if I know that it's good, whatever, my discernment is such that I still end up doing whatever it is. It's just I was mad at the moment in terms of that correction. Like it's a lot of times where God done had to get me right, and it did not feel good. But ultimately, I understood what it was for. Same
Right.
thing like with most people. It's just like there is, and honestly, there is no like perfect way of correction because correction is correction. no matter
The
what
thing
it
about
is.
correction is I don't like it, but I know I need it, you
Yeah,
know? So I get it. It doesn't feel good. I'm not saying it feels good, like, ooh, yikes,
yeah. So
whether you did it intentionally or unintentionally. So I was just wondering.
yeah,
I always like to, I'm all about practicality. So I want to know, like, for you, what is a good way to get correction? And I think I gave a good example with me and my bestie, like, hey, don't know which way you're gonna go, but this is what I think. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that approach.
yeah. But I always appreciate that over couldn't have been me, or that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like those
Yeah.
kind of like I mean, well, you just gonna mess it up, but all right, call me when you finish.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. But yeah, so this was funny. This was good because, like I said, I can see your little eye because you saw
No,
mine
you couldn't
first.
because you couldn't tell me which one it was. I'm giving you one more chance. Look, I'm
Girl,
looking real.
it's on the right. We've already talked
It's
about.
this one.
Yeah, it's that one.
You sure?
Pretty sure. Yeah, it's that one.
And
I'm looking at it in the picture as well. I mean, you bugging them out because they are
okay,
the
well, I'm
same
gonna be
size.
regular.
Like it's just they are. It's how your eyelids and stuff rest, and we don't have the strongest eyes in the world, so our eyes be working overtime, just staying open. So
This is true. These glasses are real.
they are very very real.
Yeah, this is not a fashion statement. This I need these things.
But you may not be able to see your little eye, but what you can see is blog posts every day over at BibleStudyGirl.com. Hit us up on our YouTube, which is down in the description, or on the socials at _ Bible Study Girl on Instagram. Twitter is Bible Study Girl, the number 2. Facebook, follow our Bible Study Girl Facebook page, and you'll get updated on the videos and all of our content, events, and whatever else it is that we do over there. Send prayer requests you can message prayer requests there or to our email, BibleStudyGirl2019@gmail.com. And remember, guys, it is not wallowing in our sin that preaches, but we preach.
And until we meet again, guys, keep preaching. Wait, fun fact before you start the music, guys, if you send me a message on Bible Study Girl, like the Facebook
Mm-hmm.
page, and you send a message to Bible Study Girl, Bible Study Brother reads those too. I'm just letting you know. So you know, I've seen some interesting stuff, and I'm like, he would have anyway. So yeah, be
Oh, now
blessed.
I gotta be more and check on these messages. All right. They say you won't do nothing. We'll see.